Kinsella Park, painted post, and I love this one. It's got all the ball fields around, then playground equipment and little walking paths, and head down to the stream, creek. So, but we're here in a nice open space, so thank you for joining in today. As we move through this community flow, I invite you to move with your wisdom, your intellect, which are linked but each unique. So take this moment and a little bit of movement before you settle into stillness, just feeling the body as it is, no expectations or demands, simply allowing your intellect and your wisdom to connect to the reality of your physical being today. And then after a little bit of movement, settle the hips and spine into a neutral position. Do not feel stuck. Please make sure that you can move as you need. There's a method, of course, and we meet that method differently in different practices, different days. So today, allow your eyes to close or mostly close. Soften the jaw, give a gentle swallow, simply relaxing the throat, the jaw, and the temples. And in this moment, feel sensation. If you're outdoors, here with us today, you're feeling the sun on your skin, this breeze, feeling the earth beneath you supporting this resting seat, and the space all around as you extend the crown up toward the sky. And then direct your focus now to your breath. First, feel the breath at your nose, breath flowing in cool and flowing out gently warmed. Become aware of breath at the nose. And then shift your awareness down and feel breath flowing in and out, passing through your throat. Feel that soft sensation of fluid inhale, fluid smooth exhale at your throat. And then bring the mind down to your heart, the space of your heart as breath flows in and out. Simply holding the mind at heart center, as if each passing breath could add polish and shine to your ananda, your heart. And then bring your mind to the area around the navel and lowest parts of your lungs. Feel the breath fill even that low. And a gentle effort there, navel moving back as you expel the breath, send it all the way out. So that we fill up smoothly, rest in the stillness at the top, retaining breath, exhaling, smooth breath out. We suspend movement, pausing at the bottom of the breath, inhaling, nose down to navel, exhaling, breath waves out. Continue this as the breath cycles. Soft, and comfortable pause between breath parts. And then look first to your wisdom. What brought you to your mat today? You've come this far, there was surely a reason. You could or could not give it language. It doesn't need language. Simply allow that to move into your practice. Welcome that to play out on your mat today. And then moving into the intellectual mind. What do we need to know? Is there a sore spot in the body? Recent injury or chronic issue that we need to address, and be cautious of as you move through practice, moving with care. And then again, move your mind to your heart and allow for an openness as we explore the practice together today. Breathe out all the way, send all the breath out, creating space in the body. As you next inhale, allow the eyes to open once again, and we'll slowly reach the arms out and up, interlacing the fingers, palms spin to the sky. And for some, even linking the hands together without looking, that can be tricky. Feel free to look up. Lift the heart. Sometimes I lose my hands, it happens. Lift through the heels of the hands, palms lifting, take a breath. And then exhaling, hands come down to the crown, crown lifts, elbows gently sent back. Think of your shoulder blades moving together and lifting the heart as you explore only for the uppermost spine, a very gentle arch. Lifting the chin, breathing here. Lengthen the neck, so we're really working to the neck, send the crown of the head up, another breath. Inhale and reach the arms up toward the sky. Exhale, rest the hands beside the hips now. Take a few simple rolls for the shoulders. See if you can bring your awareness into the shoulder blades even and feel them glide across the back as you roll. And then we welcome the arms down. Exhaling here, move your right ear toward the space over your right shoulder. And then think of the muscles at the underside of your left shoulder, pulling that left shoulder gently down. A little lift of the heart. You could imagine shoulder blades in the back of the head, both resting on a wall. Breathe here, using the strength of the left shoulder and the muscles beneath to draw that shoulder down. Right shoulder is relaxed, not much activity there at all. Another breath. And then slowly walk the left fingers out. I'll turn a little bit so you can see we're going to walk those fingers out and then walk the left fingers back. Yeah, find your own stopping point, walking the hand back. Little lift of the chest, breathing here. And then go very slightly. If there's any pathology or injury in the upper neck, we would not want to move. But you could turn the face down looking toward the right edge of the mat or your right knee. Imagining that left corner of the shoulders to draw back with the hand. Breathe in through the side of the neck. One more breath. And then release any rotation, so nose and eyes forward. Walk the hand back in line with the hip, and release the tilt to come back up. Lift the shoulders to the sky. Exhale. Let them drop down. Breath out. We lengthen first, and then release the ear toward shoulder left side, other side. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then use the muscles under that right shoulder to gently draw that shoulder down. Pull the shoulder down a little bit. Left shoulder does nothing, just resting there. And then we start to walk those right fingers away from the body a little bit more and then back. Find your own stopping point. We're welcoming the whole shoulder complex to pull gently back. And then stay here if that's ideal for your neck, or left corner of the chin can come down toward the collarbone, looking toward the edge of the mat, or left knee. Breathing, feel muscles right side of the neck. Jaw remaining soft. Another breath here. And then release the rotation, eyes and nose forward. Begin to walk the hand back in line with the hip. Release the tilt, come up. Inhaling, we take the arms up, hug across the chest, hands coming to opposite biceps, shoulders, or shoulder blades. Breath out, lower the chin down toward the notch in the collarbone. breathe between the shoulder blades, welcoming that breath to ripple through the whole back rib cage. And then from here, press into your sit bones. Start to point the elbows forward and then up. As we do this, hands are welcome to slide up toward the elbows, upper arms and wrists. And though often we hear in yoga pulling your shoulders down, we also need to elevate, create space, reach the hands up. Let the shoulder blades lift. A little radical maybe. Lift the shoulder blades. And then reach to that right side. And then that left side a little bit more. Space in the shoulder, reaching up with the hand once more. Reach to the right, take a deep breath. And through the left, take a deep breath. And come through center, both arms reaching, exhaling, hands down to the knees. Elbows bend and draw back, pull the heart forward. Long through the spine, neck is lengthening. And then exhale, keep the length, pass through center and notice that moment of extension right at center and draw the navel and the heart back. Tucking the navel back, heart back, lowering the chin, and then rolling forward on the sit bones. Familiar but potent. Come into your seated cow, lift the heart, and then exhaling, seated cat. And at first we center the obvious, the spine, the hips moving. And once we can familiarize ourselves with sensation and experience, moving the spine and the hips, begin to then center your shoulder movement. So we find openness in the back body as we lean back, engagement there and openness in the chest as we pull the heart forward and up. Take a few simple rounds, your pace. Your pace. And we'll finish with this open-hearted arch, lifting the chest, jaw and forehead soft, temples soft, and then come to neutral. Come to neutral. A few small rolls of the wrists. Likely now we can feel the hips. The state of things today. Bring your fingers down and we extend the legs out in front. Take a little slow movement for the knees. And then today we're going into a little bit of rotational work. So set the feet about in line with your shoulders. Oh, there's also a lawnmower front. So those of us at home, those of us in the park, oh, external influences, they're always there. So if you hear something, acknowledge. We all hear it too. Bring yourself to the best of your abilities back to your 12 square feet of mat. It's a practice, an ongoing practice. So let's move here. Left foot out in line with the shoulder. Go ahead and center your right foot in line with the tailbone. So if you can imagine a thigh, line rather, in the center of your thigh. We're spinning that line open, and then for the second portion, in. You won't get a lot of rotation coming in, totally fine. Flex the foot a little bit, and bring your hands just beside your hips or just behind where you feel supported. You're welcome to draw this leg across the earth or lift over the earth for a little more oomph. You can go back and forth as needed. So we're going to rotate externally that thigh, turning the toes out. The direction the toes are going, the leg will follow. Start to drag or float that heel out to the side. Find your own natural stopping point. And then you won't get as much range. We're turning that thigh and the foot in. Begin to draw across the earth. We're going to go 5 more times. Your range, your pace, move thoughtfully. This one is often a little more tricky than it first seems. So if you explore what would happen if I lift an inch higher, it might be a whole other ball game. I get to say it because we're at the ball field today. Whole other ball. So bring that foot out. So once you've found about 5, we'll come to rest. Soften the knees. Roll the ankles both one direction. So I make 2 opposing circles. Some people will go the same way. All is good, just switch the direction. If you were taking both the feet in one same direction, yeah. I'm kind of seeing different influences now. So relax the ankles, and then we'll take that right foot out to the side, center that left heel in line with the tailbone, bring the hands back to support. Little flexion of the foot, turn the toes out, lift your heart. And then foot can stay on the earth or float over. We'll open out to the side, turn the toes in, kneecap in, and draw back. So take about 5 more of those with your breath. If you're moving breath for breath, it would be inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. I'm going through 1 more if you're with me. Yeah. And then relax that, a little softness in the knees. From here, flexing feet, Lift the heart and we'll cross the left ankle over the right. Cross the left ankle over the right, draw hands palm to palm in front of your heart. Now some of us might adjust the clothes and the muscles, moving your seat so we can create that neutrality. And then with inhale, shoot the hands up toward the sky. Lengthen, lift the heart. And then we open, turning the heart toward the left. Bring the back of that right hand to the left leg. And the back fingers come back to the earth. Creating twist, we spin the whole rib cage. Look back over the left shoulder to your far safe point. Lift the crown of the head. Breathing here. Take one more deep inhalation. Full breath out. Inhale, slowly come back through center. We'll create a half shoelace stretch here. Bend that left knee, and you could rest the low limb or the knee on that lower knee. If you find a lot of compression in that right knee, hands can come to stack under the knee. We'll fold, hands to the center of the chest again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, heart comes forward. Hands can land on the mat. Again, slip under the right knee if that's best. Drawing the heart toward the shin, breathe here. So for some bodies, it will be as if we're crossing the ankle or the shin over that lower leg, totally fine. You might find you stack the knee, and if that's so, we're bringing heel toward the hip. Breathing here, imagining crown drawing toward the toes. Another breath in and out. Stay low with the hips and the navel. Inhale, lift the heart, so we're rippling the upper body to look forward. With that length, exhale, draw 3 more breaths in this fold. And then inhale, slowly begin to lift. Come back through center, extend the legs, a little movement through the knees. Breath in and breath out. And from here, cross other side, that right ankle over left. Adjust the seat. We just folded, so you might need to move muscles and clothes. Bring hands in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Draw on that length, integral for our twists. And then we open the heart toward the right. Left hand coming to the outer right leg. Right fingers to the earth. Find an eye level point for your eyes. They do not need to be open for this. It'll just help us manage the position of the neck and head. Looking back, whole rib cage turning. Breathing here. You might find a light connection with that left hand and the leg. Leveraging that to twist. Breathing in. Extending. Breathing out. Creating that rooting. And once more, inhale fully. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, we unwind, come through center, and we'll take that right knee to bend. Bring the heel back toward the hip. Inhale, lift your heart, adjust the seat. Draw the heart up and forward as you exhale, fold. Same invitation, low leg can stay. I find that I'm favorably placed on a part of the earth where my knee is micro bent for me. You can create that bend or stack the hands. Breathing here, feeling the back body open. Become aware of sensation. For some, the biggest experience of stretch is that lower leg, and for some, it's in the hip or some part of the upper leg. So anything that you experience in that realm would be normal. Breathe here. And then take another breath, keeping the low body fixed just from the mid-ribs up. We inhale, lengthen. Draw that length into these last 3 breaths, folding forward. Folding forward. And with inhalation then, we'll lift, come up. Take the feet out, space the feet about in line with the hips or shoulders if a little more width is good. Step the hands back, fingers forward, we'll say is ideal to bring stretch to the chest, but you could spin the fingers to point back. Gently wave the knees side to side, feeling the hips. And then pressing into hands, knees in line with hips. We start to lift the hips, knees moving away, coming into your up-facing table. Hips could stay a little lower as you lift the heart. You might find today stamping feet into the mat. You could lift the hips more and more in line with the knees. Breathe here, lift the chest. See if you might, not more than an inch of change, pull the knees forward over the feet. Shift back toward the crown. Once again, pull the knees a little further over the center of the feet. Shift back toward the crown. Exhale. Hips come down. We'll extend both legs, a little soft bend in the knees. Roll the wrists. Roll the wrists here. Shake out the hands. Take an inhale. Full breath out. So it's warm today, but it's not hot. We'll create a little bit of heat. Bend your knees. Coming in, preparing for an Savasana form. Knees move together. Holding on to the knees, gently lean the body back. So we're leaning the body back. Lift the heart. Take a breath here, and then slowly, knees moving together, consolidating through center. Start to lift the heels in line with your knees. Lift the heels in line with the knees. Take a breath here. And then we slowly extend the left leg a little longer. Bring back the bend. Right leg a little bit longer. There we go. And bring back the bend. Take a breath. We bring the feet down. Bring the hands to heart center. Welcome the knees out wide. We're not done with both, so if your heart went there, I won't lie to you. We're not quite done. Bring the heart down, reaching the hands forward. And then come in. We're going to take this into flow. Bring the hands back in front of heart. Knees together. Hands can come down to the legs or stay heart center. Lift the knees. Inhale, lift your left leg a little longer, a little higher. Bend again. Lift the leg, come up. And bend. And then we ground the feet. Knees out wide. Inhale or reach. Exhale, heart forward. Keep it fluid. We're not quite settling in. Pull the hands back. We rise. Use the deep center. Like you're pulling those hip bones together in the front. Knees come back together. Inhale, lift. This time, see if we can extend both legs any amount. It doesn't have to be full extension. At the same time, take a breath. Bend the knees. Bring the feet down. No surprise. Knees out wide. Lift the heart. Exhale. This time, I invite you to stay. Let the breath cycle 5 rounds or so. Making small adjustments so this pose is sustainable. Imagining you could set the head, the chin here right on the feet. Breath flowing full. Feeling the whole back of the body and the hips and anything else you feel, acknowledge, nourish with your full breath. And then inhaling, we slowly lift. Begin to draw up, hands come to the outer knees. Move the knees together and we'll meet on all fours. So you're welcome to take the legs around, or if it's your practice to cross the ankles and roll over, go that way too. So we'll stack wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips here, and take a few circles. So important that we connect the hands to the earth, outer palms, big knuckles, and take a few gentle circles, hips moving over knees, shoulders moving over wrists. Find some fluid connection to your breath. Take your circles the other direction, and if any sounds or external influences beyond the guidance coming from my voice, if those start to seem louder in your awareness, come to stillness. Then I invite you to turn on an Ujjayi breath, that overcoming breath. So inhale here, begin to lift the hips toward cow pose, heart lengthening, neck is long. Exhale, shift all the way back, voluntarily, child's pose. Child's pose. Head may come to the earth, to a prop, or be set on your stacked arm. Breathing in, feel the hips release down. Full breath out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Reach through the hands. Hands are folded under you, prepared to move now. Extend the arms out. Gaze is forward between the hands. Use the thighs. Begin to lift. Drawing the navel up, we flow into cat. So shift the eyes back. Rounding here, we lift navel, lift the heart. And then start with the hips. Lift the sit bones, the tailbone. Heart lengthens forward as the abdomen falls long through the neck. Where do you position the neck to achieve the most experience of length? And then exhale, shift back. Come to your child's pose, welcoming the head down. Take 3 breaths here, hips heavy and releasing. Hips heavy and releasing into mat toward the earth. And with your next inhalation now, reaching the arms out, spreading the hands, look forward once more. Rise up, eyes back between the knees or toward the navel. Lift the navel here, the heart firing, the whole abdomen up to the sky. Cat pose. Now feeling almost as though you're pulling your hips and your shoulders together. And then lengthen. Inhaling, come once more to cow pose. Neutralize here in tabletop. With inhalation, we're going opposite limb balance. Slowly extend the left leg, right arm out, about level with the earth. Reaching here. Feel and imagine an X of energy across the body, hip to shoulder, as we reach. Take another breath here. Exhale, gently and slowly tap those left toes to the earth. Notice if there's rotation of the leg or if we did maintain relative neutrality. Lift back up once again. Draw the whole abdomen to the spine, supporting so there's no sag in the back, and start to lift the heel and the hand a little higher, as if we were to create an upside down rainbow with that arm and leg. Yeah. Take another breath. Exhale, hand down, knee to the earth. Breathing in, fluidly we'll move to the other side. Reach that right arm, right leg, left arm. That's the ticket. Reach out. Breathe here. Whole body level with the earth. Create a little space in that shoulder so we're elevating away from the earth. Use the center body for that. Reaching here. And then especially lifting the navel. Oh, friends. We're going to take that arch. Lifting the heart, lifting the heel and the hand. Reaching long, hand and foot moving away from one another. And exhale, hand down, knee to the earth. Take a little side-to-side movement with the hips. And then toes turn under, exhaling, downward facing dog. Begin to draw your hips back, spreading into the hands. You shift the eyes back between the feet. Lifting the hips here, heart toward the space between your ankles. Let the head go heavy. Breathing in, breathing out. Here today, step your feet wide on your mat, feet coming to the very edges of your mat, hands stay in line with the shoulders. And from here, begin to pull your heart toward the space between your ankles, hips lifting to the sky, send the heart between the ankles. Let the head go, breath close, pull, heels to the earth. Take another breath. And then begin to shift your shoulders forward. Keep the width of the feet. Shoulders over wrist. Step your right foot as many steps as you need outside of the right hand. Yeah, take a breath. And then back leg, it's choices. A little more fire to expand. Keep that left knee up. Option to set it down on the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll take a little shift here. Drawing that right sit bone back diagonally toward the left calf, right toes lifting. And then we shift forward diagonally across the mat. Yeah. So begin to draw back, toes flare up to the sky, and then shift forward. Go once more, pulling the hips back, tailbone as if moving toward that left calf, and then shifting forward. Pause here. Lift the heart. Press into the front foot. Another breath. Lift the back knee. Press into the arms. Lift the hips. Step the foot back as many steps as you need. Lower both knees. Shift the hips back. Keep the toes curled under so we're not pointing the feet back. Bring stretch to the soles of the feet and the ankles. 3 breaths. Stretch to the bottoms of the feet, toes and ankles. And then slowly look forward, rise, extend the legs, coming into that plank with feet, shoulder space or thereabout. Take a breath. And then step that left foot outside of the left hand. Yeah, you're welcome to set the right knee down to make that transition. Absolutely fine. Lift the heart here, and then option, keep that back leg up. I'm going to set it down. Yeah, take a breath. And we'll all set it down as we meet for the flow. Now drawing the hips back, knee can come down if it's still lifted, toes to the sky. Gently rocking over to the left, and coming forward, lift and lengthen the heart. Drawing the hips back. Yeah, and as you come toward that forward position, you're welcome each time to lift that knee again if that's you, if you're building strength. We'll go once more for that third, coming back and forward. Breathing here. Press into the front foot, use the arms. We'll lift the back leg. Take a breath and gently step the foot back. Hips lift, down dog. Allow for width between the feet at first. And then we simply walk the feet forward. Coming hips in line, or heels rather in line with the hips, lengthening to half stand. Lengthen in your half stand. Start with a little soft bend in your knees. Tailbone moving one direction, crown in the other. Take an inhale, establishing that length once again. Exhale to forward fold. Let the knees go bent at first. See if you could bring the fingertips down to the mat or the floor. And then with that bend in the knees, take a breath and start to press all 4 points of your 2 feet into the earth. So those 4 points of your 2 feet pressing into earth, lift the hips, let the head go, let the shoulders go. Maybe a gentle movement for the head. And then take a big squat within this forward fold. So let the hips and the knees bend generously, drawing down. And as you press into those 4 points of the feet again, see if you can press into fingertips, lift the hips higher, body drawing toward the legs. Another breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, press of the feet, begin to rise, inhaling once head is above the heart. Lift the eyes, lift the heart. Reach the body both directions, grounding through hips to feet, extending hips to fingertips. Take another inhale, body reaching here. And exhale, pull hands down in front of the heart. Let the thumbs connect to the sternum. Full breath in. Full breath out. Releasing the arms beside the body. Take a few knee rounding steps. So lift your right knee up. Bring it over. I like to think of defying gravity. If there are any musical fans there, you can play that song in your head too for this moment. So a little movement within the hips. And move that right and then the left leg one last time. Step neutral where you can move your arms beside your body. Simple but potent. We'll take the shoulders into extension and flexion. So root here and find a shortening of the front body like we're trying to keep the relationship between hip points and ribs unchanged. Inhale. Sweep the arms up and back to your extent that we're not creating back bend. So not so far as we're back bending. For most of us this will mean here or here and not really further. And then we're going to bring the hands down and reach back. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Follow your breath so that you inhale up, no arching through the spine, exhale back, no curling through the spine. Inhale up and exhale back. See that knees are not locking here, so knees are still free. Take another 3 rounds or so. Feeling both shoulders, movement with the shoulders. This is simple, but it's really useful for your rotator cuff and the durability. Yeah. And then next time you bring your hands up, take a breath here. Heels come under the hips if they're wider. Nice long line from hips to fingertips. A chair pose. Bend your knees. Go lower down. Think of that natural space, neutral. Yeah, same as Savasana. Between hip points and low ribs. Look down, think a little lower. Breathing here. Either the chair is working or the sun has gotten a little warmer, or I bet it's both. Take another breath. And then we're going to open the hands. Pull that left thigh back here. Open the heart towards your right. Neck stays long. A breath and twist. Whichever way you've gone, inhale, come up. We'll go the other way. Open the heart the other way. Whichever thigh we're turning away from, pull it back. Yes, that's it. Inhale, come back through center. And then feel a real shortening from the heels to the very base of the skull. Press the legs straight. Feel that back body contract. Just lift. And now a gentle arch. Spin the palms to face forward. Dive back with the fingers. Lift the chest. Another breath in. Exhaling. Return it all to neutral. Release your arms. Spin the palms to face forward then. A breath in. Full breath out. Breathe out all the way. Inhaling, we lift, reach the arms. Hands come to connect in front of heart. Heel toe, step your feet for Malasana, low squat position. Take a breath in. Exhale slowly. You draw down. And so we have to listen to that whole chain. Everything happening in the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hip, low back. So many of us might find a point stopping hips above or in line with the knees. That's very welcome. If you draw the hips down, continue down. I invite you to lower. So listen to all of those joints. We listen to the muscles too, but we work with them to bring them into the asana a little bit more. Joints, we are just compassionate, wise. Lift the heart here. Inhale. Reach the hands down. Not a goal to necessarily come in contact with the earth. Unless it's supportive, then do. But if we're quite lifted, don't round the spine to get fingers down. Just move them back. Lift the heart, another breath. And then this is everyone's favorite. We're going to bring hands in front of the heart. And I say, this is one place to be very stingy, not too generous. We're going to lift up 2 inches at a time. A reminder, 2 inches is this far. Okay? We're going to slowly lift up about 2 inches and pause. Lift all 10 toes. Let them down. Breaks as you need. 2 inches and pause. Lift all 10 toes. Let them down. Lift about 2 inches. Pause. All 10 toes up. Let them down. We'll go 4 inches now. Whew. Feels like a relief. Yes, 4 is usually what I offer. Toes lift and set down. About 4 inches. Pause. Lift the toes. Breathe. Set them down. All the way up. Keep the hands toward the sky. Lengthen. See if you can bring your biceps next to the ears. If shoulders bring you forward, keep the arms there. That intention is powerful. Reach up. And then turn the toes forward, simply pivoting on the heels. Keep a little width across the feet. Gently send your hips to your right. Reach arms to the left. Press into that right foot, that outside foot here. Lift the heart, looking up. A breath. We'll come back to this side. If you didn't get enough side stretch, I didn't either. We'll come back. Dive the hands up. Shift over. Other side. Breathing here through the whole outside of the body. Lift the eyes. Keep the neck long. Stamp that left foot into the earth. Inhale, lift through center. Exhaling, shift back over to the right. This time, the addition of a balance. Reach that left arm out, level with the earth. Keep that right side long in the side stretch. And then we begin to slide those left toes out. They could stay on the earth or flex the foot to lift. Take another breath in. Full exhale. Toes down. Foot down, reach through center. And over to the left. Shifting the hips over, begin to lift the heel, coming into that balance. Toes could stay down, connected, or flex the foot to lift. Reaching that right arm out, level with the earth. Breathe here. Another breath. Oh, they're clapping for us. Toes down, we'll lift, come up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. That's what I'm going to take all the applause for our yoga. Bring your feet equal standing front of the mat now. Take a little movement, shifting hips side to side, feeling that gentle movement at the hips. A breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, reach the hands down, out, up, coming to salute. Exhale, soften the knees, engaging through center, so we're drawing in around the spine to support, diving with the heart, forward fold. We've been in a fold today. Establish the length, the connection to breath. Strong legs, releasing the head. Inhale, lifting as if a string were attached to the front of the head. We lift, halfway stand. Lengthen here. And then exhaling, hands come to the earth. Feet move back. Come to your plank position. Holding the earth away. Lift front of the thighs, abdomen, chest. Away from the earth, create space even in the shoulders. So we could allow the shoulders to jut up toward the sky. Instead, lift the whole body. Space into the shoulders. And then we're taking both knees down. See if you can keep the hips just as they are. Lowering the knees. And then today we're going to keep the chest a little higher through this variation. Bend the elbows back, elbows moving toward the midline. Once you come shoulders about in line with the upper arms, welcome the hips and the chest down. Set a rib or two on the earth. Point the toes back then. Press the tops of the legs into the mat. Draw length from the hips. Lift the head. Lift the heart. Now see if you could take one and then the other hand off of the earth. Just check that they're not too involved. Breathe here. Looking more down than forward. Neck is lengthening. Another breath in. And out. See if you could lift half a rib off of the earth. The answer is allowed to be no. You can't. It's okay too. Exhale. Release the heart down. Hands move back in line with the heart. Turn your toes under. Press the knees into the earth. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So let the head go. Eyes, that drishti gaze, that gaze point between the feet. If you'd like a little pedaling, now is your moment to move the heels up and down. Pedaling here, feeling one leg and then the other. And then slowly walk the feet toward the hands, halfway standing. Lengthen here. Exhaling, forward fold. Let the head go, hips lifting, feet grounding. Another breath in. Exhale, press the feet start to rise. Inhaling all the way up. Salute. The sun's right there, but turn towards you. Exhale, release the hands. We'll come down today. Bend the elbows, interlace the fingers right behind the back. Let the hands come into the sacrum or low spine. Think of pulling the elbows down and back. Open the chest. As well, we're going to knit those ribs together, those lowest ribs. If feet are a little narrow, let them space out in line with the hip joints. Soften the knees. Knees a little soft. Lift the hips, lift the chest. Pressing the legs straighter, lift the chest. And see if you'd like to extend the arms or keep them where they are. Hands could reach away from the neck and shoulders. As you lift the chest, you hear shoulders and upper arms rolling together across the back, more depth. Another breath in and out. Bend the knees a lot. Level the chin with the earth. Pull the side waist in. You draw toward a fold with very bent knees. Hands reaching away from the shoulders. Or hands return to the sacrum. Breathing in. Hands draw toward the earth. Or press into the back. Shoulders retracted. Another inhalation. Full breath out. Hands come back to the hips. Back to the sacrum. Lift halfway to stand. Exhaling, we release the hands down, framing the feet. If feet are wide, bring them in line with your hips. Here, we'll keep right foot forward, put the left foot back toward lunge. Left foot back toward lunge. Look toward the big toe, so that disciplined focus. Breathing in. Breathing out. Connect the back foot to the earth for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So for many bodies, this will mean we shift forward slightly, reset the left foot, angled foot, whole foot down. Press into the legs, step the hands up onto that right thigh, knee over ankle, check the back foot and its alignment here, and then we sweep the hands up. Knee over ankle in the front, just check that joint, that landmark, and then we start to pull the hip back, left hip rolling forward, arms up over the shoulders. Breathing in. Breathing out. Quick cactus arms here. Elbows bent out from the shoulders. Take another breath. And then feel the whole body, everything pulling together at the hips. We're going to reach the hands up and see if we can lift that front heel for a beat. And then set the heel down. That's it. And then exhaling, hands come to frame the foot. Back heel will lift in your right moment. Plant the hands. Step the foot back to your plank. Lower both knees, all fours. Exhale, shift hips back, child's pose. Knees can go wide or come closer together. Take another full inhalation here. Full breath out. Slow to move. Press into the hands. Think of all of those low body muscles, abdomen, around the space between hips and tailbone. Press through the hands, inhale, lift all fours. Pose under, exhaling, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths, each inhale, hips and nest down dog, lifting up from the wrists. Each exhalation, heels press toward the earth. So we inhale, wrist to hips, each exhale, heels to the earth. And then after that third full round of thoughtful breath, bend your knees, eyes to the front, feet move forward, halfway to stand. Come halfway to stand. Take a breath. Exhaling, hands frame the feet. Soften the knees generously. Left foot forward. Step your right foot back now to lunge. Other side. The other side. Take a breath here. Lunge position. Eyes fixed at the big toe. Then we'll adjust the back foot so heels align. Moving into warrior one. Powering up to the legs. You can sweep the hands directly or step hands to the thigh. Set thoughtfully. It's not thoughtful if we're moving fluidly. If we're moving slow, just gives us more time. Yeah, and you can think of pulling the hip back, energizing the knee forward. Notice the position side to side. I had a Tai Chi teacher say that's leaky chi. We don't want any leaking chi. So knee placed right over the ankle. Take a breath here, cactus arms. Yeah, outer edge of the back foot connected to the earth. Breathing here, whole body, soften the jaw, the temples. Another breath. And then when we inhale, hands up. See if you might a little or a lot lift that left heel. Set it down. Exhale, hands come to frame the foot. Back heel lifting in your right moment. Step the foot back to plank. Take a breath. Bending the knees, walk the feet forward. Hands can walk toward the feet as well. Lift to your half stand and lengthen your spine. Bring the hands right to the top of the thighs. Fingers pointing down, heels of the hands tucked up into your hip crease. Pull the upper arms back toward the body, elbows to the back of your space. Knees a bit soft. And then from here, extend the arms out like wings, out to the side. Exhale, we bend the right knee, right hand coming down. Reach the left arm to the sky. Pull back long. Now breath flowing full. Another inhale, full exhale. Press both legs into the earth evenly, facing the earth, wings outspread, side. Exhale, we twist other direction. Left knee bending, left hands come beneath the face, open the heart. Reaching the arm up. Breath flowing. Another breath in. And out, press both feet into the earth, come through center, arms out to the side. Bending the knees, we sweep the hands forward, come to a chair pose. Lift the heart, take a breath, and then press the legs, inhale, reach. Breath out, hands come to heart center. Full inhale, full breath out. And then from here, go ahead and move to the back of your mat space. Now for those of us practicing on this perfect earth that is not entirely flat and level, notice our intention is to move through a balancing flow. So stringing together balancing poses one into the other. So if you're practicing on this perfect but not flat earth, you might feel around, notice what you'll be working with. And then again to the back of the mat space. So let's position hands to the side waist. Lift the heart, feel a little movement in the knees. So we know locking the knees means we're holding them in positions. We don't want them to be locked out, straining the joint. So from here, find a still spot where you can lock your eyes as you move through these poses. We'll take a breath. And then bring the feet all the way together. For me, it means I'm going to shop around for a different spot for now. Feet all the way together, starting with our Rakshasana tree pose, hips pulled together, sit bones pulled together. Lift the heart. And then rooting through the right leg, lift all the right toes, spread them, suck them down, and softly bend your left knee forward. Hold this whole right hip strong, moving in toward the center, lifting the outer hip, turn that left knee out to the side. Breathe here. Now many bodies will be balancing and happy to do so with toes on the earth. Feel free to stay there. Another option is to lift the foot inside and anywhere but on the knee, inside of that standing leg. And then as you're ready, one or both hands can come to knee in front of heart. But keep right hand on the hip if that's you, or if that gives you information about the hip placement. Breathing in, sending that left knee back gently, moving that right hip in and up. Full breath. Stay hands here, or option to extend. Reaching the arms up, you could come apart or hands together. Breathing in, breathing out. Once more, breath in and out. Slowly return the hands to the side waist. Turn the left knee forward. Step that foot forward of right foot, a natural gate between the feet. Spread those left toes. Soften the knees, shift hip forward over heel. Breathing in, left arm up, right arm out to the side, palm down. And then an imaginary axle across the hips. Left leg moving forward, right leg moving back. You move into holy fig. Toes could stand in mat or lift here. Keep the chest lifting. If the back heel lifts and you're counterbalancing with the chest, simply keep the heart pointing forward. So it does not become our warrior three, but instead a heart opener, more like dancer pose. Another breath, root to that left leg. We lift the left hand up. Maybe we touch down or float the knee in front of the hip. Bring the hands both to that thigh or around the knee. Lifting tall. Take a breath, and then we can touch down as many times as we need. Hand hooks under the knee. Left hand to left hip. Gently open to the side. And if you practice hand to big toe, you're absolutely welcome to go there. Lift the heart, perhaps shifting the gaze over that left shoulder, a little or a lot. Breathing here. Another breath. And slowly return the knee forward. Step the foot down. A little movement for the legs. Go ahead, shake out your hands. And then if you found yourself having traversed a lot of terrain on your mat, move back. Yeah. And then we'll go hands to the side waist again. Feet narrow, starting in tree, Rakshasana pose. And then find that lift. Remember the whole back body engaging, coming to neutral. Lift all of those right toes, root down, and then bend the left knee. Nope, just kidding. Haha, other side. Your left foot rooting. Right knee bending forward. Corrected it just in time. Knee out to the side. Lift the whole body. Breathing here. And then you can use hands or not to assist. Everybody's a bit different with this. You can bring the foot up or use that right hand to guide. And we're engaging in that lifting up and in of the left hip. Breathing here. Hands can come in front of the heart. We're sending that knee back. Hip points pulling forward. And then hand can stand the side waist if that information is useful, or one or both hands can reach up. Breath flowing, inhaling we lift, exhaling we root. Another breath in and out. Then we release the hands down, take that knee forward, extend, reach the right arm up. Left leg out to the side. Step the right foot down and then shift. Hip over heel. A little soft bend in the knee and then we extend. Coming toward that holy fig. So hips stay aligned with the earth. They do not twist or shift here. Yeah, and then start to lift the inner side of that left leg. Inner right thigh moving forward as toes come off the earth. Your amount. And if you lift the leg a lot, keep the heart pointing forward. Breath flows. Temples soft. Eyes fixed. And then from here, pressing through that standing leg, reaching those right fingers up. We bend the knee, bring hands to the side of the thigh, under the thigh, or around the shin. Lift the heart. Breath flowing. Touching down, getting that grounding as often as you need. What do you need? And then left hand comes to hook under, or take a hold of the toe. And we're going to extend if we're in that Pastasana, or you have hooked under the knee. Out to the side, option to look to the right. And then slowly return forward. Take a breath and we'll ground the foot. Release. A little movement for both feet, both legs. A little movement for the whole body. So step your feet about as wide as the shoulders. Breath in, breath out. And we'll take a gentle cross-body swing. Develop a little momentum so the hands can land and strike the opposite side of the body. And this is useful for our brain. I'll leave it at that. No more science lessons today, but I'm happy to talk about it after class. And let that movement go really slowly, just like a swing coming to stop after use. Just slow to let that go. Breath in, breath all the way out. We'll make our way down to our seat. So you're welcome to go no hands if that's part of your practice, but if you say no thank you, any way you find clever. So I welcome you to lower down, coming to your seat. Creating easy pose, cross legs, though as soon as you create that seat, switch your legs, because I'm sure that that side already had the glory at the beginning. Yes? It's usually true. So go to your weird side of your cross-legged seat. Lift the heart and take a few breaths, soften the jaw. Perhaps allow the eyes to either close or drop down at the earth in front of you. Elbows heavier. Crown lifting, hips rooting. Breath flows in and flows out. Breath flowing in and flowing out. We'll move now into some work, and our focus will be our pigeon pose. A reminder that if seated, that upright pigeon doesn't work for you for any number of reasons, you're welcome to, I'll keep this brief, to take the reclining variation, to take a seated variation of your making. The formula is unique for everybody, so you can move in or out any length there. But we'll start in our Baddha Konasana bound angle. So here in the outdoor space, no shunning of the sunshine. We'll appreciate it in months to come. We'll want it to come back, but for now, for our eyes, we'll turn away from the sun. So face the long edge of your mat for this. So, yep, that's right. And then soles of the feet together, cobbler pose. First, start with hands on the low limbs, just on the shins or ankles. And then bring the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, and then create that upright position again. Yep. So we're just pulling the shoulders in position and then placing the hips in this way. And slowly lift both knees up, just a bit. Lift both knees up toward the body in the sky, and exhaling the knees down, send the knees toward the earth. Take a few breaths here, and then with this lifted position in the chest, exhale, gently draw toward a tilt, not so much a fold. No need to think of head resting on the earth, but draw the hips into a gentle tilt. Breathing here. And then another inhalation. Full breath out. Feel both hips, both knees, both ankles. We'll honor it all as we make our choices and move. So inhale here, begin to lift your right knee. Those of us here in person, your right knee will be facing this direction. So start to turn toward me, and then we're aligning that thigh with the mat's long edge. Gently stretch the left leg back. Now you might find your leg is here, extended, and last stage would be turning that kneecap toward the earth. So think of that right thigh in line with the mat's long edge now, and we base this on that front thigh in complete connection with the earth. So we're connected to the earth. And then we're shifting the body over toward the middle. If this brings us up, absolutely fine. But you might favor today, because we've come into it this way, softness in the back leg that allows that forward leg to rest completely. Take a breath here, lift the heart, start to look up. If it's tender through the back, hands further away from the body. So just adjusting that amount of arch in the spine. But if the back bend is serving you, hands could be in line with the knee. Lift the chest, lift the eyes. Breath flows full about 3 times. If you have your front hip off of the earth, try to flex the foot and engage the outer edge into the ground, into your mat. Take another breath, lifting hard. Exhale, we fold. Heart drawing toward the earth. Support this. You could come elbows bent down, hands holding the head. You come head all the way down to stacked arms. or to the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel into the hips. There's an expected amount of activity in the muscles protecting the knee, front foot. Should be some amount engaged. A gentle flexion or a really generous amount of activity pulling the toes toward the shins. But just notice that it's not clenching. There is not too much activation that is other than useful, no wasted energy. Feel that whole hip of front leg. Invite softness there into the hip, breath into the hips and back. Another breath flows in, feeling and perception move with it. Exhale, breath waves out, space grows in the body and the mind. And then very slowly begin to lift the head, lift the chest, walk the hands back in. And come on to that hip. We're going to sweep the back leg around, coming into half Lord of the Fishes. Yes. So, that forward knee bent up to the sky, rooting that left sit bone back down to the earth. Lift the chest, breathing here. We're going to turn toward this topmost leg. If you need something more mild ever, you turn away from it. But if that's not you, if you're looking for the traditional pose, then you turn toward the top leg. So hands can interlace on the knee. Turn to look over the shoulder. You could connect forearm, wrist, or elbow. And then reach the left hand back if that's you. Looking back over the shoulder. Breathing here, anchoring through the hips. We take that anchoring and from that extend upward. Crown lifting. Breath flows. Pull. Slowly fill with breath as you unwind, letting that side go. Come back through center. And we're going to approach this exact same thing, though, if you think about it, friends, you'll be facing away for all of this on the second side. And that's okay too. That uncertainty is useful, because we're here on the mat moving with care, so we'll turn away from the sun again. Soles of the feet together. This time as you position the legs for Baddha Konasana, go ahead and step your hands back behind. For me, I have knuckles of the big fingers and print of the thumb, but not flat hands. You can take whatever part of the hands down work for you. Allow the inner edges of the feet to open toward the sky. Lift the chest, releasing the head gently back. Breath flows in, out. One more breath in. Out. Level the chin with the earth. Press the hand. And from here, you'll be framing your left knee. So, left knee forward. Extend the right leg back. Coming toward that working pigeon. Take your time, the same care. Set this up. Hands can rest far away from that forward knee. That will decrease that amount of arch in your spine, or distribute it so it's most even. Lifting the heart here. Maybe hands frame the knee if that deeper bend serves you. Yeah, think of that back thigh rooting down. Full breath here in. Out. Lifting the heart. Lift the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale. And then take your fold. Heart drawing forward. Bend the elbows and hold the head or rest the hands. Find that right amount of support for you as you draw the body down and release. One more inhale, full breath out, and we slowly begin to walk the hands in, lifting. Coming on to that front hip, swing the back leg around, Now, if you want to pivot on the hip and face forward, surely you can. If it's not important for you, stay facing whatever beautiful scenery you're facing now. And we'll create that half Lord of the Fishes first. Hands come to the shin. We invite hip of top leg down to the earth a little bit more and more. And then opening the heart, turn toward that topmost leg. Keep the hands both on the knee or hook or hug around. Front knee. And right hand moves back. Lift the crown, anchor through hips, breathing here. Another full inhale and full breath out. We unwind with a slow inhale. Come back through center, and this time turn toward the front edge of your mat and simply will create easy pose. Hands to the knees. So anytime we go through a mandala on the mat, or and that's kind of just a flow that's built on a cycle where you face all edges of the mat like a circle. And when we sometimes go through moon flows, those Chandra Namaskars, they involve us having to trust and look away from what we're used to. It's a practice in its own right to take that different level of visual stimuli, comfort, and move through it. So lift tall, release the shoulders down, take a few breaths. And then slowly as you're ready, just check your spacing on your mat, make sure your head will be on your mat and not in the grass here in the park. Set your body down so we can release the legs and lower the body down onto the mat. As you arrive, knees bent up to the sky. Eyes are likely closed because we are here near high noon. So if eyes are closed, no problem. I'll make sure to guide you with clear voice. Knees bent up to the sky, we prepare for a bridge pose. Remember, this pose has a lot of options, and you could aim toward a number of different potential benefits, but we'll start simply heels in line with the hips, knees bent up to the sky, and heels close to positioned right under the knees. And then today, spin your palms to face the sky first, so that the upper arms can openly rotate and shoulder blades can come flusher to the earth. And then spin just the low arms down, palms facing the floor, but upper arms remain open and rotated externally. And with the biceps and the hands grounded, lift your hips then. Begin to press your feet into the earth and lift the hips toward the sky. Breathing in, finding that basic steady position in our bridge. Hips lifting. Think of moving your heart toward the space over your nose. Breathing in, and considerate of the neck, we look for length. Gently press the back of the head into the earth and make sure that there is space in the front of the throat for breath to move. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to set the hips down but return to this pose. So slowly bring the hips down. Arms out like a T. Gently wave your knees side to side. Wave the knees side to side. And then keeping the space between the knees. Do not rush to stack. Let this be a little asymmetrical at first. Gently release your knees over to your right. Look to the left. And take 3 slow breaths here. 3 slow breaths. And then come back through center and then release your knees to your left. 3 slow breaths. 3 slow breaths. And then come back through center. We'll come into our final bridge pose. So reset. Arms alongside the body, palms spun up, shoulder blades flush, and then spin the palms to face down. Pressing into feet. Inhale, lift the hips. We're looking for about 5 breaths in bridge. Option to bind the hands together if you walk your hands together beneath the body. Option to do so today. Pressing the arms down, the feet down, lift the hips. lifting the heart. And then after you've found those breaths, lift both heels, lift your heels, let the shoulder blades widen out from under the body, release your bind, let the hips wave down, and then bring the feet together, knees together, arms out like a T. Move your tailbone a bit to your left, knees to your right, eyes to the left. Coming into twist. Stay here, or option to stretch your top leg long, reaching it out to the side. Yeah. Fill that top lung the most. Fill the top lung with breath. Slowly come back through center, knees up to the sky. Reset the tailbone so feet, tailbone are centered in line with the nose and the navel. And then gently release your knees over, tailbone to the right, knees to the left, eyes to the right. Breathing, stay here or stretch that top leg out long. The shoulder we're spinning our eyes away from, keep that grounded and moving down. Another breath in, full breath out, filling into that top lung, last breath. And then return back through center. As you arrive, knees up to the sky, draw them both in toward your heart. Knees in toward the heart, a gentle rocking, Apanasana. Taking happy baby, point your knees out to the mat's edge, soles of the feet then to the sky, creating near 90 degrees at the ankles, at the knees, and hands come to the knees, ankles, or feet. Gently draw the knees down toward the earth. Breathing here. A little gentle rock side to side if that's for you. Little rocking. Come to stillness. And then slowly we bring the feet back down to the earth. Hug just your left knee into the left chest. Hands come to the shin. Stretch your right leg long on the mat. Roll the left ankle a few times. Then flex both feet. Hug the leg in. Root the right leg down. Breathe in. Stretch the whole body long. Hands reach away from the body. Stretch that left leg out. And exhale. Draw the right knee in toward the chest. Hands come to the shin. Begin to direct that knee out to the shoulder a little bit. If you feel compression through the inner hip, you could take it wider and roll the ankle here. Now, so choices. Traditionally we go pointing right to the chest, but if you need a little more space in that hip, you can direct it out to the side a little bit. And then let that roll and go. Flex both feet. Now root that left leg down, hug the right leg in, and then release it all. Reach the arms long, whole body long. And then come to settle into your Savasana position. Allow the whole body to release into the comfort and support of your mat now. Whole body releasing. Move your mind into the jaw. Give a gentle swallow and relax jaw and throat. Head is heavy. Shoulders heavy. And welcome your arms today to rest in a very comfortable, neutral position that allows you a sense of spaciousness in the chest and shoulders. For some individuals, this may mean tucking the shoulder blades up beneath the heart a little bit as you're lying on the mat. Notice the hips and any space you could allow for within the hips with wider feet. Or a little shifting of the hips, you might explore options if that's useful. And then welcome the whole body to release into the earth. The whole body softening now. Everything slowing. Direct your awareness, all of your senses, to your experience of breath. The senses will not turn off. We will still be taking in all that is around, but direct your awareness to your experience of breath. Effortless breath flows in and flows out. Bring your awareness to all of the points of your body that are in contact with your mat or any props beneath you. Feel keenly into all of those points of contact with the mat. And then bring your mind to all of this space between your body and the mat. Examples behind the knees, behind the ankles, back of the neck. Wherever else there might be space between yourself and the mat. Feel into that space. And then bring your mind back to the breath and the rising and the falling of your abdomen. Then allow small movements to begin. Perhaps start by grazing the tip of the thumb across the tips of your four fingers. And then stretching the hands out wide, pulling the toes back toward your shins. And then pointing the toes and creating fists. Take a few rounds of that. And then develop grander and grander movements that allow you to waken, stretch the body as you need. Preparing to roll onto your side. A reminder, it's traditional in group classes to roll to the right, but that's for politeness, so we're not staring our neighbors in the face. If you roll to your right, you're activating either our lunar side and keeping calm and peace. So that's another good reason to roll to the right. But if you've got big things to move on to today, you might roll onto your left side, facing that right side to the sky, activating that solar active energy. And then, unrushed as you're ready, rise and come to your comfortable seat. Rise up to your comfortable seat. Today, bring your left hand palm up in front of your heart, just floating in front of the chest. Right hand a few inches in front of that. So this I'm not mirroring. So if you're usually following me mirroring, yeah, we won't be mirroring each other now. Can't mess up the energetics. I'll go a different side. Take a few breaths right here. Feeling the energy that is now between those two palms. And then bring the palms together in front of your heart. Well, I thank you for joining today. Thank you. What a joyous thing, the last outdoor class of our season this year. Thank you so much for being here. May your time on the mat serve you and all those you may meet. Namaste. Namaste, namaste.